Today, March 3, there are three big races in Santa Anita Park. The San Felipe Stakes, which is a Kentucky Derby prep race, the Frank Kilroy, which is a turf stakes race, and the Grade 1 Santa Anita Handicap. These three races were supposed to run yesterday, March 2, but was pushed ahead due to the weather. However, I'm not going to bet on those races. I'm going back to my bread and butter. And for me, that bread and butter is the Golden Hour Pick 4. The Golden Hour Pick 4 consists of four races. The last two races at Santa Anita Park and Golden Gate Fields. And due to the pending closure of Golden Gate Fields in June of this year, I want to take every opportunity to make this wager. In fact, the last couple years, and especially after or during COVID, the Golden Hour Pick 4 has been my favorite type of pick. A couple times that I've bet on the Pick 4, I've won a couple grand, but I only put $89 into this wager. Since it's a $1 wager, I just picked three horses in each race of those four races. 3 times 3 is 89, and with the $1 wager, that comes to $89. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a my bet here wager is going to be based off an $89 budget on the Golden Hour Pick 4. But at the end, there's going to be a little caveat that I plan to do if you wait till the end. However, these are the horses I'm going to pick in my Golden Hour Pick 4. And the Golden Hour Pick 4 starts with race 9 in Santa Anita, which is a 6.5 turf race. So the first leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4, I'm going to pick number 1, Real Fire. And I made a note that his sire, Street Boss, is exceptional 7 furlong fire on dirt. But I'm willing to take a chance on this horse. And at the moment, he is 6-1. Or she's 6-1. I apologize. She's 6-1. So a pretty good play, solid odds on number 1. The second horse I'm going to pick in the first leg is Don't You Forget. And I made a note that, and I think this is the favorite. I made an underlying note that 5 of the 6 Santa Anita turf races has finished in the money. So she's finished first, second, or third in her last Santa Anita turf races. The third horse I'm going to pick is Summer Lake, and the reason is it has to do with the weather. Because it rained yesterday, and with the turf drying out, her last win she won in Santa Anita on a good turf. So I believe since the turf was going to be drying out, I think this is a really good horse to play due to the weather. But there is one other horse. Even though I'm only playing 3 horses in the first leg, there is one other horse that could come into play, and that's actually number 3, Aventop. And the last 2 races, she's won at Santa Anita Turf. So I made a note, see if eligible. At the moment, I checked, and there's no impending scratches. However, if she's eligible to make it in, a couple things could affect my bet. One is one of the 3 horses could be scratched, and then Aventop gets in, so that could affect my bet. And second, if she does get into my bet, I actually plan to use her, and I would have to take one of the 3 horses. If I had to pick which one I would get rid of, it would probably be the number 1 horse, Real Fire. But that all depends if Aventop gets in. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I will probably find out, when I go to the racing parimutuel facility in San Mateo, which is the location where the former Bay Meadows racetrack used to be. The second leg of the Golden Hour Pick 4 is race 7 at Golden Gate Fields. And so here are my 3 horses that I plan to play. First is the number 3 horse, Mother's Prayer. And as I noted, actually has won all of its all the wins have become at Golden Gate Fields. So as I noted, it's not might be going on the lead, but it's not dependent, and all 5 wins have been at Golden Gate Fields. And at 5-1 odds, It's a pretty nice odds to bet on a horse. So that's the first horse I plan to put in on my second leg of the Golden Hour pick four. The other two horses that I plan to put in my second leg of the Golden Hour pick four is number five, Bletchley Park, and number six, Kennebec. And number five, Bletchley Park, as I noted, this horse was highly sought after because it was sold as a for $2.6 million. And so this horse was highly sought of, and that horse actually was very influential in my other Golden Hour pick four in January of 2024. I was at Golden Gate Fields. I actually made put Bletchley Park in one of my Golden Hour pick four legs and won. So that's the reason I'm going to put Bletchley Park. In fact, the last two races, this horse has won at Golden Gate Fields. Kennebec is the other horse I'm going to play, and I've noted too, just like with number five, Bletchley Park, Kennebec has won its last two races at Golden Gate Fields. The third leg is race 10 at Santa Anita Park, which is this is going to be the Benefuista race. It's a grade 2 race on turf. And so here are the three horses that I plan to pick. The first is Be Your Best. The last two races she's run second, and each time those races were a little over a mile. So who knows? This horse might be actually a miler. And at the morning line odds of 8-1, I think this is a good solid bet for the third leg of the Golden Hour pick four. The other two horses that I plan to pick in the third leg of the Golden Hour pick four is the number five, Kissed by Fire, and number six, Ruby Nail. Kissed by Fire, as I noted, is going to be a long shot. And the morning line right now, she is 12-1. And one of the reasons I picked her is for stakes races, I like to look at pedigree on when it comes to stakes races. And I noted that her sire, even though her sire only commanded a $2,000 stud fee, she cost $350,000. A hefty investment to pay for a horse whose sire is only $2,000. So she probably was really sought out in the beginning. And if you looked at some of her charts, it's pretty decent when it comes to, let's say, maiden races or optional claiming races. But right now at 12-1, this is the long shot I'm going to use in terms of the third leg of the Golden Hour pick four. And to contrast that, I'm going to pick number six, who's probably going to be the favorite, Ruby Nail. And the reason she's the favorite is because the last four races, she's had a by speed figure over 90. So that's why she's also going to be in play for the third leg of the Golden Hour pick four. The fourth and final leg of the Golden Hour pick four is race 8 at Golden Gate Fields. And so here are my three horses that I plan to pick on the Golden Hour for this last leg. The first is going to be number 3, Sugar Beats. And at the moment, I think she's going to be the favorite. So that's the first horse I'm planning to bet on the last leg of the Golden Hour pick. The second horse on the last leg of Golden Hour pick 4 I plan to pick is number 6, JT's Watch. And as I've underlined and noted, is that about fourth of the Golden Gate Field starts. This horse won its races at Golden Gate Fields. 1/4 of its Golden Gate Field starts, but the last one was a mile, which is the same distance of this race. So that's why I'm picking the number 6 horse, JT's Watch. So for the last horse, I was thinking about either number 8, Button Tree, and number 9, Playboy Style. And part of the reason is because of the sire Stanford, who's a very good sire when it comes to horses that runs like a mile or less. So I had to think about which horse to pick. And at the end, even though the pricing sounds enticing at 10-1, there's a reason why certain horses are 10-1 if you look at their last few performances. And if you compare that with a horse who's 4-1, you have to look and say, okay, who looks better? In terms of the last in their races. 10-1 might be enticing, but in the Golden Hour Pick Four, if you know, if you pick a horse that you base off the odds, and the other horse that you thought okay has a better chance to win, but you decide to pick the one with the longer odds, you could kick yourself in the bucket. So that's why I'm going to pick number 8, Button Tree, for my last leg of the Golden Hour Pick Four. So I mentioned in the beginning with this $1 wager for the Golden Hour Pick Four, my budget would be $89. However, I did mention sort of a caveat, and that caveat is I'm going to do a $10 pick Golden Hour Pick Four, but I'm going to do what's called a single. So I'm just going to pick one horse from each race. So this is my $10 single Golden Hour Pick Four. And the first horse I'm going to do is number 1, Real Fire. Okay, and I'm going to explain why I'm going to pick these 4 horses at the end. So number 1 is going to be Real Fire. Hence, I mentioned if the other horse, Avantop, from this race gets in, I'm going to pick Avantop. But at the moment, I'm going to worry about picking horses who are entered to run in this race. So this is the first one on my single hour $10 Golden Hour Pick Four. The second horse on my $10 Golden Hour Pick Four single is the number 3 horse, Mother's Prayer. The third horse on my $10 Golden Hour Pick Four single is the number 5 horse, Kissed by Fire. And my final horse on my single $10 Golden Hour Pick Four is number 8, Button Tree. So why did I pick these 4 horses particularly? Well, I've noted that each of those horses has AP Indy in their pedigree. AP Indy is the son of Seattle Slew, and AP Indy's accomplishment as a racehorse is that he won the Belmont Stakes, won the Breeders' Cup Classic, and was named Horse of the Year, and as a stallion was the Insider twice. So, and AP Indy, when he won his second race he ever won was actually at Golden Gate Fields. Now, actually, I take it back. Was at Bay Meadows Racetrack. So, hence, I am putting, let's say, a Bay Area spin to this, because AP Indy, who was a blue-blooded son of Seattle Slew and a grandson of Secretariat, he won his second race. The second race he ever won was at the Bay Meadows Racetrack in San Mateo. So here's my budget for the Golden Hour Pick Four. For the one, if I put $1 and I pick 3 horses from each race, that's 89 bets. And with the $1, that comes to $89. When I do the $10 single Golden Hour Pick Four, I'm picking 1 horse from each race. So 1 times 10, that's $10. So I'm making 2 types of wagers in the Golden Hour Pick Four, and it comes down to a total budget of $99. Okay, so if I lose $99, okay, it's nothing. I lose $99. However, if I hit on one of the Golden Hour Pick Four wagers, and most likely if I'm going to hit, it's going to be the one I put the $89 budget bet on, I'm going to win, I might win comfortably, because I anticipate the winning to be more than $89. But if I'm able to hit both the $89 wager and the $10 wager, oh my goodness, man! If you make a bet under $99 and you win an opportunity several grand, that's one hell of a bet. Yeah, like I mentioned, if I lose $99, I lose $99. But if I hit on the $9 bet, boy, that could be really enticing. So I'll end it what I was told. I was informed when it comes to horse racing. You bet small to win big.